Welcome to AI for Founders. I'm Ryan Estes. We're talking with Nicole Donnelly today, entrepreneur, former pro snowboarder, and founder of AIsmartmarketing.com. Nicole brings a unique blend of adrenaline and acumen to AI strategy, helping small businesses harness automation, not just for efficiency, but for joy, creativity, and competitive advantage. We dive deep into the risks of AI, the rhetoric of fear from global leaders, and why Nicole believes the real threat isn't killer robots. It's small businesses not adapting AI fast enough. With 98% of U.S. businesses under $1 million in revenue, Nicole's work is about helping the little guys cross the valley of death and scale using AI to leapfrog the incumbents. From sales forecasting with weather-based agents to hands-on training and global workshops, Nicole's helping companies thrive in a radically shifting economy. Let's jump in, but first, some business. This episode is brought to you by Kitcaster by MoBurst, where founders go to get famous. If you're building something great, you need to be talking about it. Kitcaster books you on top podcasts that reach your ideal audience, boost your credibility, and drive measurable ROI. With over 800 clients and more than 30,000 interviews booked, we've helped founders raise rounds, grow revenue, and build massive influence, all by speaking on other people's podcasts. And the best part, we handle everything for you. Ready to turn conversations into conversions? Visit kitcaster.com to apply. Your voice belongs on the mic. Let's make it happen. Kitcaster by MoBurst. What's going on, Nicole? How are you?
Hey, Ryan. Nice to be here. Nice to see you. Doing well.
Yeah, nice to see you as well. Now, where are you calling in from?
I'm in Vancouver, BC right now.
Oh, tremendous. Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm in Denver, and I feel like there's a kinship between Denver and Vancouver. I don't know what it is. It's probably legal weed.
I was just going to say that.
That's probably it. I'm excited to dive in. So I want to go straight to the deep end of the pool. Are you cool with that?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So the new Pope, an American Pope from South Side of Chicago, which I think is really exciting, has said that the greatest threat to humanity right now is AI. What do you think he's talking about?
I think it's the fear of not knowing how to use it, people doing nefarious things using it, and the creators of AI not knowing the boundaries of what can be done with it. The creators of AI, they don't know the limits and the capabilities, and it's people who are using it who are discovering the capabilities. And so it's a new world like we've never seen before.
So true. It seems like the scary part really is the warfare stuff, you know? I mean, I cannot help to go full James Cameron and go straight to Terminators, where it does seem like, autonomous killing machines are not only possible at this point, but like highly probable in the future. What keeps you up at night? What makes you worried about AI?
I mean, that doesn't have me worried about AI. That stuff has been used in warfare for a while now.
Yeah.
I also know people on that side of the business. And it's been used to apprehend some very, some people doing some bad things. And I think there's AI detection that will, it will prevent some of these bad things from happening. And I don't know what keeps me up at night. I think it's the lack of adoption by everyday businesses. So, 98% of businesses are under $1 million in revenue. And that group of businesses employ so many people. It's the largest employer if you took out the big guys, right? There's about 17, depending on the years, right? I'm not sure exactly what it is at the moment, but last count, there are around 17,000 businesses that were in that really large enterprise. And small businesses have the opportunity to compete with the big guys. And we work with companies, we work with big enterprises, we work with government, we work with the small businesses, and it's the small businesses that are going to be the most impacted if they don't adopt it and if they do. Because if there's opportunities in AI SEO for small businesses, where you can get found by AI search. And this year was the first year Google search volume has gone down ever. And it's because people are using AI for search. So there's this really, momentary opportunity for small businesses to really get ahead like there has not ever been. And there is this valley of death that happens to those businesses before they hit $1 million. And then we get that, 4% of businesses get to $1 million in revenue. And then you get 0.4 get to 10 million. And there are these valleys of death that businesses pass through. And if you adopt AI, you're going to be likely to go through those valleys of death and not die. You have this opportunity to grow and to stand out. And right now, given everything else we have going on in the world, we're highly suggesting to people that they need to hunker down this summer. AI, a lot of their business, because there's so much instability at the moment. If they can make their operations really efficient, build capacity, when things start to come back, everybody's going to be in a better position. And the big guys are going to be so slow moving that there are these small companies that are taking advantage of AI and they are eating away at those big companies' businesses. And it hasn't been possible before the same way it's possible right now.
I
So
know.
that's what keeps me up is all those people like not doing it when it's such a good opportunity right now. And if you're slow and you don't have as many sales, like that's the time to spend the time on building this capacity.
And I'm so excited about it. And I think the listeners of this podcast too kind of get it. And, I just wonder about this chasm of understanding, largely because AI gets thrown around into like almost everything, it's like, it reminds me of like when omega-3s were the big food ingredient and they'd be like, your eggs now with omega-3, your bread now with omega-3, now everything's got AI.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
true.
hard for most people to differentiate. And I want to talk a lot about your business, AI smart marketing, and we're going to get to that. But when you have the Pope, arguably top 5 most powerful person in the world, saying that AI is the most dangerous thing facing humanity, like how do you bridge that to somebody who doesn't know anything, is curious, but now they're like having to kind of come up against like very scary rhetoric from people they trust?
I think that what the Pope is talking about is not how businesses are using it every day. It's not using AI for marketing, using AI for sales. It's not using AI to optimize your operations. He's talking about something that's outside of the realm of the majority of small, medium businesses. He's talking about what could happen in militarization and some of those things that we don't know about, that are not public knowledge. He's not talking about us using ChatGPT for writing some emails or, using some of these other AI tools that are going to save us time. And people are afraid of it, but we've got probably 25% of small businesses, the latest surveys have said, about 25% of small businesses have adopted AI, have done AI training, and have been implementing it in their businesses thoroughly. And this leaves 75% of small businesses not doing this. Small, medium businesses, which according to SBA is up to about 300 million in revenue. That covers a lot of businesses. There's so much opportunity in there. And I think if we look at how to use it for good, how to use it to make your employees happier, that's one of the results of people who get trained how to use AI is that they're happier at work. The good workers produce more good work. So they're more productive and they're happier and they get to do more creative thinking or problem solving than they could before. So if your job turned in, like usually it's 80-20, 80% is the stuff you have to do and you don't like to do. 20% is the stuff you enjoy doing. Well, AI can help us flip to 20% is the stuff we don't really like to do, and 80% is what we enjoy doing. And I think we'll have a happier workforce if everybody learns how to use it, and we can really harvest our magic and use our magic more and do the shit work less. Like there's so much of it out there.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the core of your business is really this. It's coaching small businesses and how to implement and deploy different AI tools. When you're talking about small business, explain to me exactly what that means to you.
We work with businesses. We work with people who are even consultants and independent contractors. And we have also worked with large organizations, government organizations too. And so it doesn't really matter the type of organization. It's more about the mindset of how people are using AI. We have opportunities for people to participate at all levels. You can come to a class where you might be sitting in the room, the Zoom room, with people from 5, 10, 15 different companies all in one group. And then everybody gets to learn from each other, and you learn how to implement AI. And the classes vary on the different topics that we teach. So it attracts different people in. The custom training that we do is usually for the bigger organizations, whether it is nonprofit or government or the really big companies. We develop custom training for them. So our general open classes that we list on the website on AI Smart Insiders, those are open to anybody who is curious, and you can see the list of topics. And we even do free sessions. So we do an AI labs on Wednesdays, and sometimes we open those up to the public at least once, maybe twice a month. And in our lab sessions, people bring real problems that they're working on. The one that we're going to solve for coming up is we're creating an agent to do sales projections based on weather for a specific small company.
Based on weather?
Yeah.
Is it a concrete company?
No, it's not. They sell gear they have a winter season and a summer season for selling their products.
Okay.
And as you know, like being in Colorado, your winters are really important for the outdoor retail sales. And the how cold the season is going to change how much gear people buy. And so we can build an agent in less than an hour, probably 30 minutes. We can build an agent to help this company with their sales forecasting.
Oh, based on weather. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's walk through that as a use case of kind of your consulting. What's your tech stack and kind of what's the PRD look like for kind of approaching something like this?
So we look at it pretty simply. We have subscriptions to all the major AI tools, and we'll test the same process. So we're going to use a Gemini Gem, which is their version of a custom agent. And we're going to use a ChatGPT custom GPT. Now, you can have these built out in your own hosted areas. We're just going to use them in the platforms natively to test out the instructions, to test out the results, and see which model gives us the best results. And we did this for another company that was doing data analysis. And we found in this last test we did last month that Gemini did a better job at the math. And it got the math right. ChatGPT didn't get the math right. And that was using 4.0. And the instructions were created, the instructions were the same on both agents that we created. And ChatGPT gave better insights.
Cool.
Yeah. And so we want to show like what the possibilities are and why you might choose one model over a different one, depending on the kind of outputs that you need.
100%. How are you chaining the tools together to form the greater agent?
Well, in this case, we don't have to do there's no automations, no anything. It's a manual upload of all the information into a knowledge base and then a set of instructions of what to do with that information. So you could have anywhere from like 2 or 3 documents to 10 documents. But we use custom agents when you have a larger amount of information, because if you just attach something to ChatGPT, it doesn't actually ingest the whole thing. It will skim, and it is good at digesting or ingesting is the technical term right now, about 3 pages of information per query.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to ChatGPT. We're going to fill it full of sales information historically, perhaps, and weather information historically, perhaps. and create a custom GPT that it's pulling from its knowledge base this particular data set. With that in hand, we're going to go and take output from Gemini. What is the output from Gemini that you're looking for?
Well, so we would build two of these. We're going to build an agent on Gemini and we're building an agent on ChatGPT
Okay.
right now because we want to test the outputs. And maybe
Got
we
it.
like a certain aspect of Gemini and then we can send it over to ChatGPT because you could use an API and push it over there. We also, for the future weather forecasting, will probably include a link in the instructions to Farmer's Almanac.
Really? I was
That's
going to ask.
yeah. Farmer's Almanac. I mean, if you follow snow, like I used to be a professional snowboarder, right? So I
Hey,
every
nice.
September is usually when you get the good forecast for winter in your region on Farmer's Almanac. And that seems to be the most accurate. So that's the one that we would link to.
Yeah.
And I wish it could be farther out, but usually that's the best source of weather prediction, better than Weather Channel or any of the others, because it gives a holistic look at the whole season and the region that you're in. Um, and that matters. And that matters for their sales. They have regional sales. And of course, they have sales across the US, but we want to understand what happens, like if we're in the El Nino year or La Nina year and some of those, because it will affect his sales.
So cool. Okay. So pulling in the data source, pulling in historical information, running Gemini and GPT in parallel, basically just to
Yes.
test. You know,
Yes.
it's so funny, like the hedge and all these tools. I do the same thing. If I'm building, I'll start with like Replit, Lovable, Bolt, and something else, and
Yeah.
give it like the preliminary one, and then like kind of take a step back and be like, well, who got it the best, the first, and then just finish it out on the platform where it is. It's really interesting, like this moment in time where we kind of have to do that. Now, a lot of tools are pulling in APIs from all of them, so you can kind of pick and choose your
Yeah.
agent for each step of the agent. But what you can't do with that is run the whole thing in parallel within that one tool. So you are left with kind of using the native platforms, which is okay, but then you end up with like 8 browsers open on the same project.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it is a funny, we're in this in between discovery. We're at the very beginning of AI. Like I've been using it since 2015 and we've been, where we are right now, it's an interesting spot and it's where all the models are inconsistent. They're getting updated all the time. So it's exciting. And for people who, this is why big businesses, they need to adopt it and they're hesitant because of the inconsistency, the things that might break. Um, and the smaller businesses are more agile. And so for us, it's like, oh, this isn't working on ChatGPT today. I'm going to go to Claude or I'm going to go to Gemini. If people have perplexity, they can try the different models, but perplexity is known for hallucination and short, incomplete answers. So I would never recommend it. And there are these options. Like there's a tool that we use, like you were talking about, that's an agent tool where you can upload your knowledge base, give it instructions, and choose the model you want behind it. So sometimes we use that as well, but you don't know what model is going to do the best job. So we usually test it natively first. And a lot of people just want to use ChatGPT. So it's a custom GPT that's also an agent. Because the big topic this year is agents and what are they? And you can buy agent platforms. You could spend $750 a month for an agent platform if you want, but it's
Yeah,
basically custom GPTs with special instructions.
totally. 100%.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you've been using AI since 2015, and I think probably what a lot of people don't know is so have they. Like if you've
Yeah.
run ads on a Meta platform, like Meta has very advanced AI. I mean, it was called machine learning in 2015, but ostensibly it's the exact same thing. Meta's AI is actually really nice too, and it's open sourced. And it's interesting because I never use it, and I never use
Same.
Grok.
Yeah.
I never use Grok. I never use DeepSeek for apparent reasons. But there's dozens of models, now. I mean, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
dozen. There's probably a strong dozen that have probably spent $1 trillion on their models. So there is a lot of variation. Maybe this is a barrier of entry too for people that are getting started, which is like, well, how do I know which one which LLM to use, and that correct answer is like, well, you don't. I mean, depending on the day, one's better than the other. So, so you made a pivot. Now, you mentioned being a professional snowboarder, which I must come back
Yes.
to. I need to know
Okay.
your favorite hill, your favorite trick, but also how did your career transition from snowboarding to entrepreneurship?
Um, well, it was kind of funny. So I rode, well, I was on the Park City snowboard team back in the very first year that it existed,
Cool.
where we were still digging and building our own jumps in the backcountry because that's how we would practice. And I used to do gymnastics. I didn't start snowboarding until I went to college, and I went to Weber State University. And we'd have snowboard class on Sundays at Powder Mountain, which
Cool.
then was the summit, right? So I have this love for Powder Mountain in my heart, and they have the most ungroomed inbound terrain. And they have a little short bus where you can drop down the backside and do all this, ungroomed, get freshies. And a little bus will take you back up to the resort.
Cool. Is it
And
trees or is it kind of
yeah,
bowls or
it's all the things, like all
yeah.
the things so there are open spots and there's quakies, right? Like
Yeah.
quaking
So,
aspens, which are,
so fun.
yeah.
Like
Um,
Steamboat in February is like the absolute heaven on earth, you know?
yeah. I loved it so much. Um, And with my gymnastics background, I started doing flips that first season that I was riding. And the second season, I started competing because I moved to Park City and was joined the Park City snowboard team in its very first year. It was nothing fancy. Um, and just did all the competitions that came to the hills close to where I was. And in Utah, that's a lot. I
Yeah.
even did a swatch border cross my first year.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so I raced border crosses. I actually went to Aspen and did the border cross there, the
For X
Swatch border
Games?
cross. Yeah. No, X Games, I did Big Air.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You're doing
I,
border cross and big air?
yeah. Well, it was kind of in the beginning. So I did Big Air, border cross, half pipe, slope style. A lot of people did them all. Slalom was kind of its own thing. Like some border cross and people did slalom too. But a lot of people did all of the disciplines back then. And yeah, I did. It was it was a good time, crazy time, lots of injuries. And
I was
one
gonna say, how's the
season,
knee?
knees are okay. Hip, I mean, there's like arthritis everywhere, hip, neck, all the places, lots of healing. Um, and one off season when I was living in my trailer at a state park, as you do, I met my kiddo's dad, got knocked up, moved to Seattle, and started a business when Sarah was just under a year old, where I was selling leg warmers for babies. Um, because Sarah had diaper rash really bad. So I'd cut off my snowboard socks, pull them up over Sarah's knees, naked bum when she's crawling. And Baby Legs grew into this global brand. And we were in all Targets, Nordstrom's, 85
Wow.
countries within 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I sold that. And Baby Legs now live in the Museum of History and Industry in Seattle, on display next to the Nintendo. um,
What'd you sell it
and
for?
I can't say. I can't say. I sold it to United Legwear in New York. They might be able to tell you, but there's an NDA there.
Ballpark range. Give me a big range.
I mean, it was seven figures.
Nice. Good job, Nicole. That's incredible. In 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you grow that fast?
Mm, I was on a mission to make parents' lives better. And that was it. Like every day, make parents' lives better. I knew the product I had would make their life better. And so it was a good gift from, aunts, uncles, grandparents. And it was that like my big life goal is spreading joy to a billion people. And with Baby
Nice.
Legs, I reached my first few million. And then I started a marketing agency because I really cared about the place where the brand and the customer meet, and there's an emotional connection. And so it might seem funny to be in AI, but it is really that emotional connection that I care about. And it's that emotional connection that we can preserve if we use AI properly.
You
And
know, oh, go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so we got into AI in the marketing agency because it allowed us to have better emotional connection with our customers.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, Dave, friend of the show, says that AI done right makes humans more human.
Yes.
So, baby legs, just to hover there for a second. Seattle, I'm assuming these were flannel. Uh,
No,
no, sorry, couldn't help it. Cool. So pivot the marketing agency to an AI consulting agency, really structured in marketing. Now, a lot of people are out there doing training courses. You should be consulting. You can be an AI consultant. There's definitely a gold rush around AI, and there's a lot of people selling shovels. You know,
yes.
so how do you differentiate? How if I'm a prospect, maybe describe to me what your ideal client looks like and kind of what separates you from maybe some of these jabronis on TikTok trying to get my attention.
Yeah, it's a tough one now. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of noisy competition out there. And when it comes to a team that has business acumen and years of experience, I don't think we can be beat by anybody who's out there. There are a lot of people who say that they're AI consultants, and we were just on a call with one, and within the first little bit, we could spot the holes because we do want to train more people to do it, and we also have a process to do that. And we have this 4D process that we take people through because we also do consulting and advising. We'll get more in depth with companies if they want to implement throughout. So training is kind of first layer. Um, and I think it's years of experience and also the business acumen to understand how AI plays out across the whole organization. So if somebody has that good business acumen and they want to add AI to it, it's a lot easier than somebody who's like, I know AI, but they don't have the business acumen. So as far as other people that I would trust, it would be people who have the broader business experience, so that they can think about it holistically. We were using this analogy earlier. If you're going to renovate your home, you need a strategy. So we do AI strategies. You need a strategy to do it. You might only have the budget to do a bathroom reno, but the bathroom floor flows to the hallway floor, flows to the living room floor. You need to know how your flooring is going to be in your whole house and how you're going to make everything look good. So you need a strategy for your whole house. You need a timeline, you need a budget, and you want to see what's going to be least disruptive to your organization. So a bathroom reno compared to like living room and kitchen, that's less disruptive. So we might start with something small, but we need the strategy for the whole organization.
Yeah.
And companies will want to pick off one thing here and there, just like with the marketing agency. They're like, hey, can you do a press release for us? And, it's got to be part of a bigger strategy. And to look at the whole organization and how you want to use it. And so sometimes we do turn people down because we're like, we've got to work, or we back them up to where we want to help you select your tool, your tech stack. We want to know how collaborative that tech stack needs to be. And we want to think about how it will get integrated at a larger scale across your organization. Because if you can AI and automate everything, for most of the kind of work that, this knowledge work, all these people, millions of people that sit at their desks every day, likely we could take your job down to 30% of the effort that you're doing now, maybe even less. And that takes thought in how that's going to affect everybody else in the organization. You could do an agent and say, hey, I just want an agent to, an HR agent or something like that. Well, that's fine. But we also want to think about like the whole organization, because this summer, if you spent 3 months AIing your organization, by the time September hits, we're anticipating hopefully things will be a little more stable and, sales economy will be moving forward. You'll be so ready for it and you'll have a fun summer. Like you get to play. It's just going to be like, we look at it as tools, but also toys. These are things
Yeah.
that we get to play with and they evolve. They're not static. It's not like an Excel spreadsheet. And you can use it for Excel spreadsheets, but it changes and it's really dynamic right now. And, yeah, so I think talking to people about how they would look at the whole organization, not
Yeah.
just one part of it, would be a good way to suss out, like, how do you really think about AI?
This episode is brought to you by MoBurst, the AI-first growth engine trusted by iconic startups like Calm, Robinhood, Reddit, Uber, and Google. MoBurst is a digital full-service mobile-first marketing agency that helps companies to scale and become category leaders. Whether you're finding product market fit or ready to accelerate growth, MoBurst delivers creative, data-driven solutions that help with scale and efficiency and impact. At MoBurst, we're not just guessing what works, we're predicting it. As an AI-first agency, MoBurst uses cutting-edge tools to analyze user behavior, adapt creative in real time, and uncover hidden growth opportunities. The result, marketing that's faster, smarter, and built to convert. From early-stage startups to global brands, we've helped hundreds of companies overcome complex challenges, unlock new audiences, and optimize every metric that matters. At MoBurst, we believe that creative thinking, advanced technology, and data are the core drivers of success at scale. If you're serious about scaling your business with precision and purpose, it's time to talk to MoBurst. Visit moburst.com and let's build something category-defining together. 100%. I love the analogy too of like the job site. And I'm remodeling my house, like remodeling the kitchen is going to be very disruptive and only some people need the kitchen remodeled. But every business, especially small business, could use a bedroom painted, a fresh coat of paint. So where would you start with somebody who they're at Post-it notes on their desk? What's a place that you can begin with absolutely everybody that might be helpful for everybody?
Yeah. So we have a course. It's AI Your Agency /ops/business. And we take you through how to think about AI in your organization. And we go through workflows, SOPs, and it's a good place to start. We get a little bit into the tools and the tech. And by the end of it, you should have one piece of your work automated or AI'd. Because sometimes people just need automation and sometimes it's a combination. Usually we look at AI automation and humans and where you want to have those things play together. And so the AI Your Agency or AI Your Ops, that one is 4 weeks long and you can determine if you want to take more specific courses after that. But you'll end up with a product at the end of it that you can use and reuse for whatever. If you sit in front of the computer and have to do a job on it, we'll be able to help you automate or AI the process.
Love it. And I love you're doing courses. And I'd love to pause on this for a minute. So what other courses are you offering?
We've got an AI for sales one that we have a wait list for right now. And that's going to be launching soon. The AI Your Agency, we're offering almost every month at the moment or kind of every other month. We also have a longer 10-week course. But I'd say AI Your Sales is a super hot topic. And then we're doing workshops on things like RFPs and how to use agents to respond to RFPs. Because we're in the midst of responding to a few ourselves. And we find, I would say probably a third of the businesses that we talk to have to respond to RFPs. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing any government proposals, it's so tedious. Or if you're applying for grants, it's so incredibly tedious. And if you build an agent for that process, it will save you hours and days of work.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm assuming that like the courses are a good qualifier for potential consulting clients. So basically, people that complete the course, there's a next level up the ladder of engagement with you guys. What platform are you guys using to build the courses?
So we're using a CRM system. It's all built on Go High Level, but OS is the version we're using. And we go with OS CRM. All of these resources are also on our website on
Cool.
AIsmartinsiders.com/resources. The CRM is mentioned there because it's pipeline, it's LMS, it's automation, and it's AI, and everything is built into this one platform. So we picked it when we started doing the trainings because we wanted an LMS that could text people and email people. And a lot of them, like Thinkific, don't really have the communication part of it. And we find it's really important because people like to get the text messages and emails. It reminds them to do their homework, reminds them to come to class. And so we get a really good show up rate because of having these automations.
Okay, not to do a commercial for Go High Level, but
Yeah.
you're telling me that it's a CRM, it manages your pipe, it manages the online course and does um, text message and email notifications?
Yeah. And it's got community and it has AI chatbot. But I wouldn't say to anybody ever, don't go to Go High Level direct. Sorry, Go High Level, I love you, but your customer service is not good. And so we always go through an agency, and we like to go through OS, which is on our website, because they provide support and customer service. And if you go to Go High Level directly, they'll tell you things aren't possible when they are.
Baller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Whoa. Okay.
we always go through an agency. The price doesn't cost any more, and they provide the good support. And we've been using it for probably 5 years at this point.
Amazing. Okay. How do you price the courses?
So AI Your Agency is like $9.97 a seat, and that's the 4-week course. And if we're
10
looking at
bucks one time?
they
$1,000.
go. It's an hour. Yeah, it's $1,000. So, and it's live for 1 hour a week. Plus, they can go to the labs, which is live 1 hour a week. That's another differentiator is we have live Zooms,
Cool.
and we do have one self-serve class that's $200. It's $197, and honestly, people don't buy it. We sold a handful, but most people sign up for the in-person classes, and we've got some that are more expensive, like $5,000, and you'll be with us for 10 weeks. And we take you through like how to use all of these things, how to build agents, how to do more advanced things with AI. And you can get a certification with that one, an applied AI certification that you can put on your LinkedIn and everything too. So it's priced where anybody can get in the front door. And as you advance or desire to advance, we're there to help hold your hand along the way. It is the motherly instinct in me where I just want to help people through the process and, get everybody AI'd because it's the little guys that can benefit the most right now.
Get them AI'd. I love it. Okay. This is a fascinating business model. I love it. What percentage of your revenue is based in the courses versus anything outside of the courses?
So I would want clarification on that one. So courses, I do training in person. I go do workshops. I fly around the world. And the in-person where I am out in some country doing some training for some days, that if we want to talk about overall business revenue, that's actually the highest dollar amount right now.
Yeah.
Because people have to pay a lot more to go do, to have me come to their location to do the training. Yeah. And the rest of it, I'd say most of it's classes right now. There's very little that's in consulting, maybe 10%.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's courses and then on-sites. If I'm in Switzerland and I want Nicole to come out and I'm sweetening the deal with a couple of lift tickets, you know what I mean? What should I expect to pay? Ballpark.
Ooh, that's a good question. You want me to answer that right now?
No, I mean, not if you're uncomfortable with it. No.
No, I mean at least $10,000 a day, which is, reasonable. It depends on how big the group is or whatever the work is. But, I'd want to go snowboarding in Switzerland. I haven't done
What?
that
Yeah.
yet.
What the weather conditions are. I mean, hey, you show up for free
Yeah.
if it's Pow Day. Come on now.
Yeah,
Very cool.
but I don't know if I would. I actually am going to Switzerland, Germany, Istanbul, Lisbon, all this fall, and I'm going to Vietnam and Thailand. So if there are people in any of those places, when I'm there, I like to stack up gigs in the cities when I'm traveling like that.
Amazing. Well, if you come to Colorado, I'll go snowboarding with you so long as you want to do blue groomers. You know what I'm saying?
Where are we going?
Well, I'm a copper guy, you know.
Okay.
I like copper. I like Keystone, you know.
Okay. Yep.
My son loves the parks in both of them, so that's where I spend a lot of time. Although, I've been concussed a couple of times, nowhere near, I'm sure, the concussions you've had, but it's made me, some people go hard. I like to go real medium, I go medium.
Yeah.
Do
I
the
tend to go
balance.
medium. I go medium now too. I'm much more chill. I ride with my kiddo, and I'm happy to teach people how to ride because I have been concussed many times, like at least 20 that I was treated for, and probably some more. Because when you're trying to get inverted, it happens. Um, yeah, but I would be happy to do some blue runs because you can make blue runs fun by hitting all the little things on the side, right?
Yeah, the little hitters on the side. It's great. My
Yeah,
son loves doing that. I just go straight underneath the lifts and just like do nice turns.
yeah.
I like to look at my turns and be
If
like,
there's
wow,
freshies, oh man, if there's freshies though, like there is nothing better.
it's the
Nothing.
best. Nicole, how big's the team?
Um, that's a good question. So our core team is pretty small. Our core team is like five, six people. But everybody's contractors. So when we do big gigs, we have trained up instructors. Like we've got trained instructors in Germany, and we've got like East Coast, West Coast. And so we can expand our contract with the projects that we do. And we have some contractors we've worked with for years because of the marketing agency that can help on these bigger projects. So our team can expand to probably, I don't know, 20, 30 people easily that are trained in what we do. But in our core team that we have a meeting with every day, it's quite small.
Yeah.
And we build capacity. So it's like the more every single client that we bring in when we're doing service work, like how can we make this faster, easier, and deliver more magic?
Mhm.
Right?
Love it.
Like it doesn't take a lot of people now to do that. And we're working with other agencies, some quite close. And if the people in the agencies, if they don't want to learn AI, this is what you got to watch out for. Like if you don't want to learn AI, you're not going to have that job anymore. If you want to learn AI, you'll be the master of your domain, and you will continue to be.
Love it. Kind of wrapping up here. What's something that you wish existed in AI but doesn't?
Oh, okay. So people are trying to do this right now. I've wanted this for like 2 years, but I want something. And I know we have the $200 version of ChatGPT that's supposed to be able to do this, where you just say, because you can have these desktop applications. There's another one that runs your desktop where you say, hey, I want you to connect this to this to this thing and log into things for me and like do this workflow. And none of them quite work yet. They
Yeah.
don't quite make all the connections or do the things. And sometimes it's just the limitation of the platform and what it will allow this like RPA or this robotic process automation tool to do. But I think once we get to the point where ChatGPT really can do that, or some of these others, there are platforms people are building for desktop installation where it will do the work that you tell it to, and it can log into any of your apps, anything on your computer. Um,
Yeah.
so, chance for lots of nefarious things to happen in that environment as well. Um, but
Yeah.
this is where my like snowboarder risk taking, I guess, is
Let's go.
okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
You need someone to run through the field to explode all the mines. Sign
Yeah.
me up. I'm ready to go.
And then we work with the government agencies and have to be as conservative as you could
Yeah.
possibly imagine,
Yeah.
So at
Great.
least I think now I'm a little more aware of how to be conservative and safe with all these things. And I will do that as opposed to when I was snowboarding and did not. And so we can bring that knowledge to the situation. And I really wish we had those seamless connections to everything. And it's coming. It is. It's like it's progressing.
It's coming quick.
Yeah.
Nicole, where can people connect with you online?
AI Smart Insiders is a really good place if you want training. AISmartInsiders.com. We have a resources page, courses page, blog. We send out a newsletter if you want to sign up for it. I personally edit the newsletter every week. AI makes it for me. So you can see what AI does, and then you'll see my flavor to it because I like to have some opinions on the things that are written in there, and sometimes they're pro and sometimes they're against, but we cover a lot of things in those newsletters. I would say that's a good spot. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. My LinkedIn gets really spammy. So you can send me messages. I have AI and a live human EA that will check things in all the different places. So Nicole Donnelly, if you look up Nicole Donnelly in AI, you'll find me. YouTube, we also have a YouTube channel, AI Smart Marketing, and we post videos every week on how to do different things with AI. So you can learn a lot there from all the free videos that we put out.
Love it. And tell you what, listeners, if you want to just denote that you came from this podcast, just say cucumber. Just hit Nicole up on LinkedIn, say cucumber, she'll know what's up, and we can go from there. Nicole, this has been so much fun. Will you come back and talk again?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks. Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, founders, let me ask you this. Are you building with AI or getting left behind by it? If you're serious about scaling smarter, faster, and bolder, you need to check out AIforfounders.co. It's your go-to resource for cutting through the noise and actually using AI to grow your startup. Each week, AI for Founders drops a sharp, no-fluff newsletter, dives deep with expert guests on the podcast, and hosts monthly workshops where you can get your hands dirty with the real tools and strategies. Whether you're pre-seed or Series B and beyond, launching something new, or just staying sharp, AI for Founders gives you the edge you need to win in 2025 and beyond. Hit AIforfounders.co to subscribe to the newsletter, tune into the podcast, and grab your spot in the next workshop. And it's all free. Build smarter, move faster, think bolder with AI for Founders. Now back to the show.